Don't? One? One? Okay.
Perfect.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sandrine Perriner, very happy to be there, and thanks to you to joining us. I'm the Global Partner Lead for Automotive and Manufacturing in our Industry Solutions COE. And I'm joined today by Dr. Rajesh Gomanam, who is our worldwide Partner Solution Architect for Manufacturing, and he's also the Solution Lead for Industrial Data Fabric. We have an important priority as AWS Partner Organization. We want to be able to enable the co-selling of our industry partner solution and also to scale that across region. However, every region is special, unique. They have their own priority and their own set of partners. So we'll go through some experimentation that we did this year in 3 countries, India, Brazil, and Japan, and share with you the learning from those experimentations and what we need to do in order to facilitate the scaling of those solutions. So very quickly today, we'll go through some context, how we define solution, and we'll share those pilots that we have done in the regions. We'll have a zoom in on one solution, Industrial Data Fabric, and I will explain why this one is important. Then we will go through some mechanisms that we have identified to have repeatable motions in order to help you, let's say, be successful in those regions. So in the first section, AWS for Industrial, we will quickly go through the main industry challenges for manufacturer, how digital transformation is helping them, and also how we have translated the voice of the customer into some priority use case and priority solution, and one of them being IDFs that will support the illustration of what we want to share with you today. So industry challenges, as you know, this industry, manufacturing company, really need to innovate if they want to stay competitive. And so the good thing is that potentially those challenges can become opportunity for you through the digital transformation. So just going through some example, for example, manufacturing company need to increase their P&L and develop some new opportunity for revenue. And so they can do that by having some smart products, by having product as a service, or even by getting data from the customer usage of those products and, let's say, closing the loop and improving the design cycle. Another important aspect within the factory is to improve the overall equipment effectiveness. And so manufacturing company needs to either increase the plant availability or some machine availability, let's say, reduce the downtime of some of the process. And while they are looking for increasing their profit, they need to do that by either maintaining or improving the quality level. So it's still kind of a balance and trade-off between those 3 elements. Supply chain is very critical for manufacturing operation, but surprisingly enough, there is a lot of manufacturing companies that still have low visibility within their supply chain. So it's still an area where we need to do much more and develop more solution and support the customer by having partner around those use case. Automation is another interesting aspect because, as you know, manufacturing is not a sexy industry in a way that it's very aging, and so a lot of people are retiring. So automation can not only solve for that, but potentially, let's say, transforming the operation, can be more attractive for the young talent that will be the next generation to hire. So it's a win-win in a way. Protecting, securing production, still very much happening today. A lot of cyber attack. We're just discussing with Blue Yonder earlier this morning, the cyber attacks that just faced. So it's there. It's definitely there, and it will continue to be there. So making sure that we have a strong partner in that space and that we can develop those solutions across every region is also very important. And of course, continuing to reduce the cost is still a very important element, whether by reducing the wages, reducing the number of workers potentially, or reducing the waste. So all of that will contribute to this. what we have been doing within AWS through a dedicated team called AWS Cloud Economics is to create some business case. I mean, we have developed a cloud value framework in order to understand where the client stands in their cloud journey and how can they assess and track the progress that they are making through their digital transformation. So we have identified 5 main areas for value creation, and it spans from cost saving, staff productivity, operational resilience, business agility, or sustainability. So here is an example of industrial manufacturing customer realizing value by moving to the cloud. And this cloud economics team have done that by industry. So we used to have just a generic value proposition and what brings cloud from an ROI standpoint beyond IT. And we realized that most of the value is in the business outcome, in the line of business, the TCO, the overall TCO, not just, I mean, sharing data centers, sharing servers, and the IT costs. So it's becoming more and more critical to be able to assess that and to track the progress through the business outcome in the digital transformation. So this slide is what we call manufacturing solution map, and we have that for every industry. I mean, I'm focusing on automotive and manufacturing industry, so I took that as an example. But as AWS have verticalized the organization for the last 2 years and now also regionalizing this organization, we are trying to make sure that we capture the voice of the customer and translate that in priority solution area like smart manufacturing, supply chain management, and within those solution area, which are the priority use case that we should be working on. It's not, let's say, a rigid image. So I mean, this was the priority for 2024. We may increase the number of use cases or change some solution area depending on the feedback and the success of those solutions. So for example, you have to understand that the partner dynamic for those solutions might be very different. So we have very strong legacy partner in solution like engineering and design, and we may have niche startups for emerging use case like sustainability and electric vehicle, for example. So it's a very diverse set of partners addressing those different use cases. From a performance standpoint, what we have seen last year is that smart manufacturing and with industrial data fabric within this solution area has been the most successful strategic workload, followed by engineering and design. And this is why, I mean, we will zoom in on industrial data fabric as the example that we wanted to share through the experimentations that we did in regions. So the pilots that we have been going through this year and some initial learning. So for automotive and manufacturing in 2024, we have 5 regions of focus. It's Germany, US, India, Japan, and Brazil. And so we did pilots in 3 of them, India, Brazil, and Japan, and this is what we'll share today. And so not only we have vertical sales team, but also regional sales team, which are specialized by industry. What we realized talking to them is that having solution and having partner for those solutions defined globally is good, but not good enough. Because we realized very quickly that in region, you need special local partners that speak the language, that have the connection with the customer, and so those local partners need to have the regional presence and the domain expertise. That's the first learning. And then we need mechanism to scale, not only to be able to help the local team, which are building their industry expertise, by identifying which partner are relevant for the customers that we are working with. How can we enable those partners and select those partners for some enabling session? And how or what kind of mechanism and tools and hands-on do we need to put in place in order to have the train-the-trainer approach, not only to train our internal team, but also the partner to get on board and to be ready to, let's say, sell with us. So, I mean, this is what we will go through with the help of Rajesh.
Excellent.
Thanks,
Henry. So one of the first AWS solutions that we use for piloting this mechanism and developing the mechanism is AWS Industrial Data Fabric, which is essentially a solution which is powered by partner solutions, ISV solutions, and AWS native services. So now I'll just basically describe what is AWS Industrial Data Fabric, why it is needed, and how the consulting partners were able to scale the solution, develop solutions, and thereby we had developed the mechanism to go cross-region. So what is Industrial Data Fabric? So if we start working backward from our customer use cases, there are a plethora of industrial use cases. So there are asset performance management, and a predictive quality, and much, much more. And these require a rich array of data from different systems. As we all know, the industrial data is very complex. So there are a variety of data, both for metadata as well as real-time telemetry data from sensors. So in order to execute one of the use cases, for example, customers basically leverage data from the systems, selective data. They do the table joins and do all the ETL which is necessary to execute a use case. And once they realize the value from a use case, then they have difficulty in extending it to other use cases because they have to recreate those pipelines. That has been very cost prohibitive and it incurs exponential cost. So to address that, we came about with a solution which is Industrial Data Fabric. And what it in essence is, it's an architectural approach which is based upon AWS native services and partner solutions. So it addresses all the three stages of data ingestion, contextualization from different systems, and delivering those data fully contextualized payload to other applications so that customers can leverage value. So to that effect, we have a quite array of industrial partner ISV solutions which plays in the. So it gives the customers an option to use the right solution for the right job and the right use cases. So in essence, customers can leverage any of these different deployment patterns. So just starting from the left, we have a simple use case. Customers want to ingest telemetry data. So we have industrial IoT site-wise edge, which can ingest data from these systems. And as the use case is getting mature, we require an industrial data ops solution. That's where we have a set of partner solutions which can ingest the data as well as develop the enterprise level, domain level models to do those different use cases. And lastly, there are some customers who want both hardware as well as for the data management and fleet management. So we have solutions such as Belden and Siemens, which plays the field, which is tightly integrated with AWS IoT site-wise edge. And there are customers who require a full stack solution, which requires industrial knowledge graph for advanced generative AI use cases. So for that, we have solutions such as Cognite and application layer and solutions as well. So customers and consulting partners can choose from these deployment patterns based upon their use cases and maturity as well. So having spoken about what is Industrial Data Fabric, now let's basically talk about what is the mechanism which we have developed for developing and co-selling across different regions. First, it starts with developing the solution. This is a closed loop mechanism where we get feedback from the market as well as from our customers to develop the solution. Once we have the solution developed, we identify the regional champions in terms of technical and business in different regions. And then, with their help, we select the consulting partners in the specific region. And with their help, we do the enablement sessions to upskill them in terms of business as well as technical, which I'll be speaking about. And once we have that, we encourage them to develop their competency in the field of different ISV solutions. So we assist them in that regard. And we have a set of criteria for onboarding those consulting partners. So where consulting partners need to develop a use case, demonstrate their capability in using those IDF solution, create demos and all the assets. And last but not least, once we have these commitments from our consulting partners, we do a broad-ranging customer roadshow where we take both partners as well as consulting partners to those customers to evangelize as well as go after different opportunities. And this is a closed loop cycle. So how do we basically do that? So in terms of cross-regional business and technical enablement, we have two different aspects. One is what we call it as Industry Residence Week, which is an in-depth business and technical training for both AWS folks in that specific region, as well as partners, as well as customers in this bit. And then we have Builder Day sessions, which are hands-on, deep dive technical workshops, where our consulting partners can have their expertise developed in those specific solutions. So to that effect, we have conducted, as Sandrine mentioned, these sessions in India, Brazil, as well as Japan very successfully, and we were able to onboard many customers in that regard. So in terms of the artifacts, we have a very detailed solution guidances, which are backed with well-architected pillars, which gives you the entire deployment architecture based upon customer use cases. And we have prescriptive guidances, which are nothing but how to do certain very rigorous tasks, and also demonstration demos as well. So using these collateral, our consulting partners were able to create demonstrable demos with use cases, and our solutions artifacts and many technical collateral, which they were able to bring to the table and also build the GTM, go-to-market activities with our AWS folks. And in terms of the builder days, we have an extensive session in terms of hands-on workshops. So we have detailed workbooks, basically going through all the different steps so that our consulting partners and customers can have the feel of how to use those solutions. And these are translated in different regions based upon the region where we are trying to onboard. And at the same time, we have our ISV partners, such as with Cognite. They have certification programs to onboard those partners as well. And using this mechanism, we were able to get commitment for dedicated resources from our consulting partners. So having said about those mechanisms, now Sandrine will talk about the outcomes which we have generated through this mechanism.
Thank you, Rajesh. So coming back to how it works and how we engage with the local team. So first of all, we needed to identify which partner we would want to invite for those sessions, for the enablement. So we did a work upfront with the sellers and the BD that have industry expertise to really understand which partner can be relevant within the customer that they are working with, which partner can be relevant on the priority use case that we're working on, I mean, in that case, IDF, and then invite those partners to attend those hands-on and to attend these business sessions. As a result of that, we are able to gain trust with the local team because we are, at the end of the experimentation, get a list of vetted partners that they can work with for any pre-sales engagement with their customer. We are also, through the trainer, giving some championship and accountability of local solution architect to be able to support those partners while the global team is traveling to other areas. So it's really a very collaborative approach with the regional team. As an example of the outcome that we got, we have created 17 pipeline just after those sessions. We have accelerated the sales cycle. Generally in manufacturing, the sales cycle for this solution could be best case 6 months, most of the time 12 to 18 months. We have, with one of the partners, after developing a task-based generative AI application for maintenance workflow, won the first customer within less than 4 months, and we have a pipeline of additional 5 opportunities. So it was extremely successful, and I would encourage, any one of you, to follow the guide here, because it's really what we have been successful with. These are accelerator example. And I'm summarizing it there, which is best practice, how to scale from an ISV industrial technology partner or from a regional system integrator, create a solution which is aligned to the framework. We share the framework with you. On the SI, having dedicated 5 certified engineers. And for that to happen, the ISV has to help us. They have to have the product license, they have to have a training platform, and potentially provide credits for the system integrator to develop a practice on the ISV. We need to develop together a better together story which articulate why these partner or these combination of partner with AWS. Having a fixed price, fixed cost offer on the marketplace, as some of the one in the previous slide, is really helping for the sellers to consume and to promote these solutions to their end customer. And then demonstrate competency through demonstration. This is one of the assets, one of the artifacts that we're asking them to develop, as well as customer user story. It's very important for us to have reference customer that can be anonymized, but at least being in the detail of what worked, what was the business outcome, so that sellers can feel comfortable articulating that to their own customer. And the benefits for you as a partner, are various. So first of all, it's a true skill because the regional team is pumped out after the session. I can tell you, they're super excited, super motivated, engaged with the partners. They have met with customers together, and then after that, they have a follow-up with a pipeline review with the account manager, and the business starts. It's really supposed to be a business accelerator, and this is what worked. Reference as vetted partner, both from an ISV and system integrator, and the partner to go with. And because we do that, we will create catalog of those vetted partner in the region, not only global list, but also regional list. We will have some regional book offer to further promote the solution and create some campaign or sprints to generate demand on those solutions. And last but not least, as I said, I mean, accelerated sales cycle is what we are looking for, all of us. So
Exactly.
thank you for your attention. If you have questions, I mean, I'm out of time, but happy to stay nearby and address those.
Yep.
Thanks again.
Thank you.